Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
We came across an AI-powered dating app that connects users with compatible personality types using just their selfies. That caught our interest. Certainly our producers were thinking, well, that's different. Let's talk about that. If you're like me, you're not much of a selfie person, so I'm not sure how it would help, but our next guest is going to tell us. She's the CEO and co-founder of SciMatch, as in, I'm guessing, Science Match. Yanina Strylets. Yanina, welcome into Tomorrow. How are you?
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing really good. I'm really excited to share with you things we do at SciMatch.
Oh,
and you actually pronounce it very, very correctly.
Okay,
so
good.
It's science with match. And SciMatch is social dating app that powered with computer vision technology that is enabled to identify your character traits from your face.
Oh.
And we do that to help people find someone who they will share emotional connection. So in other words, here at SciMatch, we believe that people fall in love not because they like the same food or sport, or maybe you both like cats or rock and roll. It's not the thing that makes you fall in love, but this magic that happens when you meet someone in person. And this magic comes from complementary personality traits that we're working to identify using the latest technology and social science.
Well, I think a lot of times people talk in terms of, especially if you're looking for a significant other, a relationship or whatever, you shouldn't just be looking at the appearance, right? Because you can't judge a book by its cover kind of scenario. So you should look a little deeper into that. But I guess it starts with making sure that someone that you might want to get involved with it has at least the look to start with, right, that you're looking for. And then I guess SciMatch can start helping us get in a little deeper. Is that sort of the goal there?
So no, we do matchmaking not based on how you look. We use your face, your look, to learn your personality.
Oh.
And that's what we use for matchmaking. So basically, we use the computer vision technology that is powered and much more accurate than human judgment to predict your character traits. And that's what we do.
Well, I'm certainly very curious about what your automated intelligence would say about my face. You know, what is my personality? How does it determine by just looking at this face? And by the way, those listening on the radio or podcast, be sure and come by and see the video with Yanina, because we're showing you some of these things. But how, looking at my face, does your AI determine my personality?
Yes. So how I like to explain to my non-technical friends the technology works, it actually imitates how our brain works. And actually, neural network is inspired by our brain. So I hope you agree with me right now, but often when we meet someone, right, for the first time, we look at their face and when we think, oh, this person is kind. When we jump to the conclusion before we even talk to this person. And this happened only because we have database of faces similar faces that we've seen before, interacted before, and they were kind to us.
Oh.
The same the neural network works. We learn the network to identify certain character trait by showing a lot of faces, not just 5, 10, but millions of faces with the same character trait.
Wow, so it's not just wishful thinking that if someone looks at me and they say, I have a kind face, so I'm perhaps a kind person, and start developing my personality type or traits. It is backed by your science then.
Yeah. It's done by computer vision, again, by deep learning neural networks, and they outperform humans in many tasks, including identifying your personal trait. Once you see the person and try to judge them by their cover, usually in a 50% chance you not right, but computer vision technology, right, in like the accuracy of the technology is 87%.
Wow. So unlike Match and Tinder and all these other maybe dating sites that really ask questions about your personality and your likes and what you're looking for perhaps in a mate, you're doing most of that based on my face compatibility. Is that correct?
Only using one selfie. And from your selfie, we can derive your fundamental personality trait that we can like further analyze fully all dimension of your personality.
Wow.
And it's actually simpler for our users. Now you can take just one selfie and you already can get a compatible match instead of swiping every day.
Yes, exactly. And more importantly, for those of us who are not big selfie fans, I mean, I have friends that's all they do. I mean, you can scroll through their posts on any anti-social media, and it's just them all the time. It's all selfies. Well, I'm not like that. So one selfie can do the job with SciMatch, right?
Yes. To analyze your personality, we just need one selfie. But you can post as many pictures as you want as a part of your profile. But only one selfie we need to get to know you.
Interesting. And now, do you use only faces then? I mean, this is the whole idea, right? You're using someone's face, so you're capturing my face as a selfie for SciMatch to begin to use. And then do I also have an option to fill out a personality profile or something, or to express who or what I'm looking for, that sort of thing? Kind of like the other dating sites, or is it just what's going to happen with my selfie?
Yeah. So in terms of questionnaires, no, we don't do questionnaires because it takes a lot of time. I remember myself dating, and now I'm happily married, but back then I used a lot of dating apps. And it took a lot of efforts and time to actually complete those questionnaires.
Yeah.
And sometimes the question is like, are you like to be a center of attention, or you always care about other people? Of course, I tend to give more socially acceptable answers. Like, of course, I care about other people, right? No matter how you truly are. And this leads to a lot of misinformation on dating profiles. Like, people intentionally or maybe unintentionally, just because they want to look better, they give this sweet white lies.
Yes.
Everyone wants to be liked by the end of the day, right?
Oh, sure. Well, and especially if you're looking for a significant other, right? You want to be liked, hopefully by enough people that you might find that special match at some point. And interesting that you use the example of, do I like to be the center of attention? Well, if you scroll through their anti-social media and it's all selfies, I think you have that answer. Yeah, they want to be the center of attention. So you're right. It might be avoiding those little white lies, or you care more about people around you and everything else, but then again your Instagram or something tells a different story. I heard though that you also help find people who might look like their favorite movie star. Tell us about that. I mean, again, it's an appearance kind of thing, but is that particularly an interesting attraction, though, for folks looking for someone?
Yeah, this one is really fun, first of all. And here we were trying to make dating feels less like second job. We want people to have fun with online dating. So that's why we built in the feature that lets you find person nearby who look just like your celebrity crush, like just like your favorite celebrity. So, for example, I'm a fan of Robert Pattinson, but how many people can date Robert Pattinson? Just one, probably.
Yes.
But how many people would love to date him? Many. So that's why at SciMatch now you can upload the picture of Robert Pattinson and find someone nearby who look just like him.
Gotcha. And are you limited to heterosexual? Does it work with same-sex dating and matching? And I mean, is it open to everyone and any desire?
Yes, we're open to everyone. We believe the scientific perfect matches should be for everyone. And yes, we're very inclusive.
I'm liking on your website, I'm seeing things like Date Smart with face reading technology. And that, I think, gets people's attention, no doubt why you have it there. But it also makes people wonder, what do you mean face reading? Well, I think you've done a good description as to how it is that your AI is able to do that sort of thing. What do you see as advances in technology changing online dating? Because certainly what you're doing is very different, I guess, than most other sites that are looking at profiles or allowing you to fill in the blank or, answer some of those goofy questions that we referred to or something. But what you're doing is very different, I think.
Thank you so much, Dave. And yes, after pandemic, online dating changed a lot, first of all. Now dating apps, not anymore message to me tools. They're more like communication tools. People stay on dating apps and want to know each other better before they go and meet in person. So that's why I see a lot of potential in using technology to make online dating experiences more fun.
Sure.
Like, for example, the celebrity crush, or we have speed dating games. Or can you imagine in near future you having VR date?
Oh.
Perfect. You go on a first date surfing somewhere in Caribbean with your potential partner and learning about each other while you're having fun instead of just shooting questions back and forth, like if it's an interview.
Well, that's kind of cool. VR dating. I mean, I would imagine that that's a good way to get started because it's also a safe way, it seems, right? Because a lot of folks are understandably concerned about meeting someone to actually go on a date, whether it's just to meet at a bar or a restaurant or have a coffee or something like that. But you still don't know very much about that person. So maybe VR dating is a great way to open that up. And as you say, be able to talk, communicate, share some experiences, even though they may be from halfway around the world.
Yeah, exactly. And you can always learn what it's like to be with this person without even be there in person.
Very true.
It's a very big benefit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, can tell you right then again, right away, that you don't need a first physical date. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Bye. Delete. I mean, it may happen, right? Because it happens in real life. You have someone with a first date and you're thinking, we just didn't hit it off for whatever reason. Can a simple selfie find your perfect match? And I think that's something, I'm listening to my listeners in my head every time I do an interview, and they're wondering about things like, all right, so now it's just a selfie. Can it really find a perfect match? What successes have you had that you can share?
So we have a lot of users saying 87% of 1,000 users we have on the app right now saying that we are 87% accurate about describing their personality.
Really?
And yes, and compared to Tinder, for example, who has 51% response rate, like people actually respond on a first message, we have 77% response rate. So we think it's a pretty good that we connecting right people. So now they can have a conversation and it's flow.
I've heard several people complaining about sites like Tinder and Match and so forth, where they use, what do they call, Passport or something where they're not even in your area. So if you wanted to physically meet for a cup of coffee and learn about someone, well, what do you mean you're in Seattle, and I'm in New York or something? That just doesn't work unless one of you is ready to fly. And if we do hit it off, relocate maybe, that kind of thing. Do you narrow it down to people within your area, or maybe you're going to plan a move so you can go elsewhere? How do you do that in terms of localizing people that you might want to meet?
It's a very fair question. And we're launching the app region by region. So for that same reason. We want people to meet in person.
Sure.
We don't want them to stay on the app. We want them to have build relationship, have beautiful experiences offline. So that's why we moving from New York to next. After New York, we're moving to next region.
Oh, and what next region might that be?
Now we're thinking of one of them is Miami. Where are you right now, Dave?
I see. And good, get my selfie because see what you can do for me. But I think that's pretty cool that you're doing it by region, so at least it's somewhat close. So distance shouldn't be an issue for some people. Is there a charge for SciMatch? How does that work? How do you make any money?
So we subscription based. But we give our users 5 chances a day to find out how compatible they are with people they visually like on the app. So it kind of slows them down. Like you have only 5 opportunities. So I have to be wise about that.
Yeah, choose wisely.
It's also good because now people have swiping fatigue, right?
Yeah.
So and we have other features that enhance our user experiences, and we charge for them, but always giving them chance to try it first.
Okay, and I think that's fair. My gosh, if you're being too greedy and you want more than 5 initially, well, then buy a subscription, right? It's not a problem. Is it available?
If you need more than 5.
Well, right. Maybe you do, and hopefully you don't, because I'm curious about how the whole selfie idea can tell the story, pretty much the whole story in many cases. Is it available for both Android and Apple, for iPhones, or one or the other?
So right now it's only available for iOS users, but we developing Android version. So pretty soon our people who own Android also will have the chance to find a scientifically perfect match.
Okay, well, good. Well, see, then I'm out of luck because I'm an Android. So there you go. So you have to let let me know, and I'll share that with the world that it's all available on Android now. But in the meantime, you can download it apparently at the Apple App Store. It's called SciMatch, as in Science Match. And check it out and see how their AI-powered dating app might work for you. And again, it's free for 5 a day, right? So you can give it a try. And I'm sure your goal, one of your goals, Yanina, is to get many more people to at least provide their selfies and see if you can get more folks involved. So good luck to you guys as you go to different regions and hopefully cover the U.S. fairly soon.
Thank you so much, Dave. It was really pleasure to talk to you and share much information about what we do.
Well, it's a pleasure as well, and I hope it helps a lot of our audience too. So check out SciMatch, SciMatch.com. We'll get you there, of course, when you visit intotomorrow.com. Yanina Strylets is the CEO and co-founder of SciMatch. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned as Into Tomorrow continues right here on the Advanced Media Network.